Surah 7, Al-Araf, by the one who is denoted by the name Allah, who created my being with his names in accord with the meaning of the letter B, the Rahman, the Rahim, Aleph, Lam, Mim, Sad. This knowledge book of the reality and Sunnatullah, tradition sanctioned by God, that has been revealed to you is for you to warn the unbelievers and to advise the believers as to how and what to believe and what to practice. So let there be no more distress in you regarding this. Follow what has been revealed to you from your Rabb. Do not follow allies, those who give external information that leads you away from your divine reality, and internal, ego-based, carnal information outside of your Rabb. How little you remember and contemplate in depth. How many cities of people we have destroyed. Our torment came to them while they were sleeping at night or during the day. When our torment came to them, their exclamation was no other than, "We were indeed wrongdoers." Most certainly, we will ask both those to whom a Rasul has been sent and the messengers. Rasul meaning messenger, prophet here. But it means messenger, so we've seen other context for it. Surely we are going to reveal the truth of the matter. We are not unaware of what transpires. He is the Batin and the Zahir, the hidden and the manifest. The angelic forces comprising manifestation are derived from our names. The royal we, right? The evaluation of everything that transpires in that time is done, in truth, based on the creeds of Allah. Those whose scales, evaluations weigh heavy, they are the ones who will overcome all obstacles and attain liberation. And those whose scales, evaluations weigh light, they are the ones who will have wronged our signs and thus become losers. Indeed, we have established you upon the earth and produced blessings therein, with which you sustain your livelihood. How little you evaluate. In truth, we have created you and given you form. Then we said to the angels, prostrate to Adam, in respect of Adam being the manifestation of the totality of Allah's names. So they all prostrated, realized their nothingness in the sight of the manifestation of Allah's name, except for Iblis. He was not of those who prostrated. He was of the jinn, an ego-based existence. Allah said, "What prevented you from prostrating when I commanded you?" Iblis said, "I am better than him. You created me from fire, radiation, a specific frequency-based existence." Note that the word fire, nar, in this verse is the same as the word used in reference to hellfire. This is worth contemplating upon. And created him from clay, matter. Allah said, "Descend from your rank, for this rank is not for arrogance and feeling superior over others. Go, indeed, you have debased yourself." And Iblis said, "Reprieve me until the day they are resurrected after death." Allah said, "Indeed you are of those reprieved." Iblis said, "Because you have led me astray." Yadillu man yasha'u, based on the reality that he leads astray whom he wills. Well, you've let me go astray is I shall most certainly sit on your straight path, Sirat al-Mustaqim, to prevent them. Then I will come to them from before them by provoking ambition in them and glorifying their sense of self-ego to lead them to the denial of the truth, and from behind them by imposing delusive ideas in them and leading them to disguised forms of shirk, duality, and on the right by inspiring them to do good deeds that will take them away from you, and on their left by beautifying misdeeds and making the wrong appear as right. And you will find most of them as ungrateful to you, unable to evaluate what you have given them. Allah said, "Leave my rank, debased and distanced from experiencing your reality. Whoever follows you among them, I will surely fill hell with you all. O Adam, dwell you and your spouse in paradise, eat and drink from whatever you please, but do not approach this tree. The body, the consequences of accepting yourself as the body, lest you be among the wrongdoers." Thereupon Satan whispered suspicions to them to make them aware of their egos and corporeality. He said, "The reason your Rabb forbids you from this tree experiencing your corporeality, corporeality, is so that you do not become two angels in the realm of forces and live eternally." And he swore to them, "Indeed I am from among the advisors." Thus he deceived them by imposing deluding thoughts, making them think they are the physical body, drawing their attention to their corporeality. And when they tasted that tree, sex, the mechanism of reproduction, Aleister Crowley also agrees that the whole Adam and Eve thing focuses on hitting puberty. They became aware of their corporeal bodily selves. They began to cover themselves with the leaves of paradise. They tried to suppress their corporeality with the forces of the names present in their essence. The Rabb called to them, "Did I not forbid you from that tree and tell you that Satan is an obvious enemy to you?" They said, "Our Rabb, we have wronged ourselves. If you do not forgive us and grace us, we will surely be among the losers." Allah said, "Descend to the constricted lower state of bodily existence from a life governed by pure forces as enemies to one another, the duality of body and consciousness, and for you on the earth, bodily state of existence is a set time of existence and a set period in which you will receive your share of provisions." He said, "You will live therein and die therein, and from it, the body, you will be brought forth. O children of Adam, we have indeed disclosed to you clothing, knowledge of the reality, to cover your corporeality, and as adornment, treats from his bounty. The clothing for protection is surely the best, and this is from the signs of Allah. Perhaps they will think and take a lesson. O children of Adam, do not let Satan, your body, tempt you into provocation like he removed your parents from paradise by showing them their corporeality and thus stripping them of their clothes, angelic forces. For he and his helpers, all satanic forces that serve the same function, see you from a place where you do not see them." Sounds like they have an extra dimension, or they're of a different dimension, right? "We have made the devils corruptive forces, conditioned beliefs based on the five senses, befriend the unbelievers. Whenever they commit an indecency, an action or thought leading to duality or to the denial of the reality, they say, 'We found our fathers doing it, and this is what Allah ordered us to do.' Say, Allah certainly does not order indecency. Are you attributing to Allah things about which you have no knowledge? Say, my Rabb has ordered for you to live justly, giving the due rights of all things. Set your faces, experience the dissolution of your ego through submission in every masjid, place of prostration, mosque, and pray only to Him. By specifying your understanding of religion to Him alone, you will return to Him in your initial state, the state of Adam in paradise. A group of you He guided, and a group of you deserved to be in falsity. Indeed, they, those who went astray, had taken the devils, the deviators, as allies instead of Allah, and they consider themselves as rightly guided." O children of Adam, wear your adornment at every place of prostration. Eat and drink, evaluate these, but do not waste. Do not consume unnecessarily, for he does not favor those who waste, misuse the blessings they possess. Say, who has prohibited the beautiful things and the clean, pure provisions that Allah has brought forth for his servants? Say, they are for those who believe during the worldly life, and on doomsday it shall be theirs exclusively. Thus we detail our signs for those with comprehension. Say, the truth is, my Rabb has only forbidden the following: apparent and concealed indecencies, crime, in the sight of Allah, oppression, aspiring for the properties of others and desiring to seize it, associating things about which there is no proof, and partnership, and saying things and saying things about Allah that you do not know. And for all people, a specified term, lifespan, is set, so when the end of their time is come, they can neither delay it by a single moment, nor can they hasten it. O children of Adam, when messengers come from among you to relate and explain our signs to you, whoever protects and corrects himself will have no fear, nor will they be grieved. Those who deny our signs, manifestations of the names, and who are arrogant toward them, they are the people of fire, nar, a specific wavelength radiation. They will abide therein eternally. Who does more wrong than he who lies about Allah or denies his existence in his signs? They will attain their portion of the book, the revealed knowledge, when finally our messengers come to them to take them in death. So see, sometimes the word messenger is used for the angels of death, the Yamadutas and Vishnadutas, in Sanskrit, but we're just calling them the Rasuls here. Rasul, not sure the plural. They really should put the right plural if we're going to use something as a technical term. They will say, where are those who used to invoke besides Allah, those you assumed existed? They will say, they are lost and gone, and will bear witness against themselves that they were deniers of the reality. Allah will say, enter among those who had passed on before you of the jinn, fire beings, and mankind into the fire. Different type of fire. Nar, radiation, a searing environment of wavelengths. Every time a new community enters, it will curse its close ones with whom it shared the same belief. Finally, when all of them have entered, the latter group will say about the former groups, our Rabb, they are the one who corrupted us, so give them double the suffering of fire, radiation. He will say, for all of you there is double, but you do not know. The former ones will say to the latter ones, you have no superiority over us. Taste the suffering brought by your own doings. Indeed, those who deny our signs and are arrogant toward them, the gates of heaven, the observation of the reality, will not be opened for them, nor will they enter paradise, the state of experiencing the names comprising their essence, until a rob, camel, enters through the eye of a needle, i.e., never. Thus do we recompense the criminals. Now, see, this is misunderstood, partially because people don't understand camel eating the eye of the needle. The eye, it's an old reference to eat. They would make the city gates so you couldn't ride through on your animals in groups and stuff like this. So at least they would have to get off their animal, if not unload their animal and carry the stuff through the gate. So it would really slow down any invasion. So therefore, the disbelief has to be taken off along the way. It's a similar metaphor in the Bible, but not as It doesn't work as good as a maxim, but the rich person has to give charity, right? Well, sometimes there's not a rightful place for charity, but they will have a bed from hell and coverings, curtains over them, their consciousness. Thus do we recompense the wrongdoers. As for those who believed and performed the requirements of their faith, we do not charge anybody with what is beyond their capacity. They are the people of paradise. They will abide therein eternally. We have removed all forms of hatred and resentment from within them. Rivers flow beneath them. They will say, that which has guided us here belongs to Allah. Hamd, the evaluation of the corporeal worlds, created with His names, as He wills, belongs to Allah. Had Allah not guided us, we could not have attained this. Indeed, the messengers of Allah have come in truth, and they will be called, this is paradise, which you have been made to inherit due to the things you have done. The people of paradise will call out to the people of the fire, we have found what our Rabb promised us to be true. Have you found what your Rabb promised you to be true? They said, yes. Then an announcer among them will announce, the curse of Allah is upon the wrongdoers. They are the ones who prevent you from the way of Allah and who want to lead you astray. They are the ones who deny the eternal life to come. There is a curtain between the two, paradise and hell, and on Raf, the state of those who have believed in their essence but have not yet duly experienced its outcome, are men who recognize each of them by the marks on their faces. They will call out to the people of paradise, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. These men, well, by men we mean humans, so females and children or whatnot would be included, have not yet entered paradise, but they long for it. Now those who die before puberty in the Islamic view are innocent, and therefore they do attain the paradise hereafter. And when their eyes turn toward the people of fire, nar, radiation, they will say, our Rabb did not place us with the wrongdoers. The people of the Raf, those who have believed in their essence but have not yet duly experienced its outcome, will call out to men of hell, whom they recognize by their mark. Of no avail to you was your wealth or your arrogance. Are these the ones whom you swore that Allah will not embrace with His grace, whereas now they are told, enter paradise? There is no fear for you, and you will not be grieved. The people of fire, nar, radiation, will call out to the people of paradise, pour upon us some of that water, knowledge, or from whatever Allah has provided you, the forces comprising heavenly life. They will be answered. Indeed, Allah has made this forbidden upon the deniers of the knowledge of the reality. They are those who have turned their religion, the knowledge of the reality, and the system, Sunnatullah, into an amusement and entertainment, who have been deluded by the vile worldly life, just as they have forgotten the meaning of this day and consciously denied our signs. We will forget them today. Nowadays, the New Age thing is based on not orthodoxy or orthopraxy, but experience. What type of experience can you have with your faith? And certainly we have brought them a source of information and detailed it based on knowledge as a signpost to grace and guidance to a people who believe. Do they wait only for its interpretation, its absolute meaning? The time when its interpretation becomes manifest, those who forgot before will say, indeed, the messengers of our Rabb have brought the truth. Will there be any intercessors to intercede with us, or could we be sent back so that we do differently to what we previously did? They have indeed put themselves into loss, and realized the emptiness of what they assumed existed. Indeed, your Rabb is Allah, the one who created the heavens and the earth in 6 stages, then established himself on the throne, i.e., began to administer them as he pleased. He throws the cover of the night over the cloth of the day, which rapidly follows the night. The sun, the moon, and the stars fulfill his command. Know without doubt that both creation and judgment belong to him. Exalted is Allah, the Rabb of the worlds. Pray to your Rabb beseechingly and genuinely. Indeed, he does not like the transgressors, and do not cause corruption on earth after its reformation. Pray to him with fear and with the belief that he will respond. And by he, we're not putting gender on God, it's a gender neutral. Indeed, the grace of Allah is near the doers of good. The grace of Allah reaches you by the hand that delivers it. It is who, he who discloses the winds as good tidings before his grace. When the winds finally carry the heavy clouds, we drive them to a dead land and disclose water from them and bring forth all types of fruit therein. Thus, we bring forth the dead. Perhaps you will contemplate on what this means. The vegetation of the clean and good land emerges with the permission of your Rabb. But from filth, nothing emerges other than what is useless. Thus, we diversify the signs for people who evaluate. We had certainly revealed Noah to his people, and he had said, O my people, serve Allah, you have no deity besides him. Indeed, I fear for you the punishment of a tremendous time. The leaders in traditional opinion among his people said, Indeed, we see you in clear error. Noah said, O my people, there is no error in my view, but I am a Rasul messenger from the Rabb of the worlds. I conveyed the message of my Rabb to you. I talk in your favor. I know, with the bestowed knowledge from Allah, that what you do not know. Are you surprised that your Rabb notifies you through a man among you who he has charged to warn you, so that you may be protected and attain grace? But they denied him, so we saved him and those with him in the ship, and we drowned those who denied our signs, manifestations of the names. Indeed, they were a people with no insight. And to the people of Ad and the brotherhood, he said, O my people, serve Allah. You have no deity besides him. Will you still not protect yourselves? The leaders among the disbelievers of his people said, We see you in foolishness, and we presume you are a liar. Hud said, O my people, there is no foolishness in me, but I am a Rasul messenger of the Rabb of the worlds. I convey to you the messages of my Rabb. I am a trustworthy advisor to you. Are you surprised that a man among you has been advised by your Rabb to warn you? Remember, think, he appointed you vicegerents after the people of Noah and increased you extensively in stature and provisions. Remember and evaluate the blessings of Allah so that you may be liberated. They said, Have you come to us so that we serve Allah, the One, and abandon what our fathers have worshipped? If you are speaking the truth, then bring us the thing with which you threaten us, so that we see it. Hud said, In truth, the hurricane of your Rabb's punishment and wrath, the state of duality, has already befallen you. Are you arguing with me about the unsubstantiated names you gave to the gods, you and your fathers, for which Allah has not revealed any evidence in regards to their existence? Then wait, indeed I am with you among those who wait. So, we saved him and those with him by surrounding them with our grace, and we uprooted those who denied our verses. They did not believe. And to Thamud we sent their brother Saleh He said, O my people, serve Allah. You cannot have a deity besides Allah. Clear evidence has come to you from your Rabb. This female camel of Allah is a miracle for you. So leave her to eat on Allah's earth. Do not dare to ponder any harm upon her, lest you fall into a painful punishment. And remember when he made you vicegerents after Ad, and established you upon the earth, you obtained palaces from it, and carve its mountains to form homes for yourselves. Then remember and think about these blessings of Allah, and do not cause transgression on the earth through corruption. The leaders among the people of Saleh, who were arrogant, said to the weaker believers among them, Do you actually believe that Saleh is disclosed by your Rabb? They said, We believe in what has been revealed through him, as though it has been revealed to us. The conceited, arrogant ones said, Indeed, we are deniers of that which you believe. Then they savagely slaughtered the female camel and were disobedient to the command of the Rabb. And they said, O Saleh, if you are of the messengers, then bring the punishment with which you threaten us. A harsh earthquake seized them. They collapsed in their homes and died. And he, Saleh, turned away from them and said, O my people, indeed I have conveyed to you the message of my Rabb and advised you. But you do not like those who talk in your favor. And remember when Lot said to his people, Do you commit immoralities that no one before you in the world committed? You leave women and sleep with men. No, you are a transgressing people. The answer of his people was only, Evict them from your city. For they are men who are purified from such things. So we saved him and his people, except his wife. She stayed behind, and was of those who were caved in. We rained down upon them suffering, a volcanic eruption according to narration. Have a look and see how these criminals ended up. And we disclosed, their brother Shuaib to Madian. He said, O my people, serve Allah. You do not have a deity besides Allah. Clear evidence has come to you from your Rabb. So fulfill the measure and wait properly. Do not deprive people of their due. Do not cause corruption on the earth after its reformation. This is better for you if you are believers. Do not intercept the path of people by threatening and preventing the believers from the way of Allah and wanting them to go astray. Have a think. You were few. He made you many. Have a look and see the end of the corrupters. And if among you there is a group who believes in the reality I have brought, and a group who does not believe, then be patient until Allah judges between us. He is the best of judges. The leaders among the people of Shuaib, who were arrogant, said, O Shuaib, surely we will evict you and those who are with you from our city, or you must turn to the religion of our fathers. Shuaib said, Even if we are unwilling, we would surely have invented a lie against Allah if we turned to your ancestral religion after Allah has saved us from that baseless religious view. It is not possible for us to turn to it unless our Rabb, Allah so wills. Our Rabb has encompassed all things with his knowledge. We have placed our trust in Allah. We believe the name Wakil in our existence will fulfill its function. Our Rabb join us and our people upon the truth. You are the best conqueror. The leaders among his people who denied the knowledge of the reality said, If you follow Shuaib, you will surely be among the losers. So the severe quake seized them. They were left fallen upon their knees in their homes. Those who denied Shuaib were perished as though they had never resided there. Those who denied Shuaib became the losers. Upon this, Shuaib turned away from them and said, O my people, indeed I had conveyed the message of my Rabb to you. I had advised you, but how can I agree for people who deny the knowledge of the reality? And to whichever community we have revealed a Nabi, exemplar prophet, we have surely seized its people with hardship and ailment to rid them of their egocentricity, so they might turn to their essential reality with sincerity and humbleness. Then we exchanged their hardship with good when they reached comfort of possessions and offspring and prospered. And they said, our fathers were also touched by hardship and ease. So there is no lesson in this for us. So we seized them suddenly before they knew it, because the lesson's for everybody and that sort of stuff. If the people of those cities had believed and protected themselves, we would surely have opened blessings upon them from the heaven and the earth. But they denied, so we seized them with what they earned with their deeds. Did the people of those cities feel secure from our wrath coming to them one night while they were asleep? Or did the people of those cities feel secure from our wrath coming to them in the morning while they were at play? Or were they secure from the plan of Allah, that Allah will make them live the consequences of their deeds without them even realizing, and hence, thinking there is no consequence, they will continue to engage in their activities and sink further in failure? None can feel secure from the plan of Allah but the people who are in loss. Have they, the inheritors of those who were destroyed, have still not realized the truth that if we will, we could afflict them with calamities and lock their hearts' consciousness so they will not be able to perceive? So we successively relate to you the news of the dwellers of those places. Indeed, the messengers had surely come as clear proofs, but they did not believe in light of the letter B in what they previously denied, religion. Thus, Allah seals the hearts, locks the consciousness of those who deny the knowledge of the reality, and we did not find most of them devoted to their promise. We found the majority of them disobedient to the truth. Then after them we disclosed Moses with our proofs, manifestations of names, to Pharaoh and the leaders around him, but they did wrong by not heeding the signs. Look and see the end of the corruptors. Moses said, O Pharaoh, indeed I am a Rasul, messenger, from the Rabb of the worlds. I am truly obligated to not speak about a law except what is based on the truth. I have indeed come to you as a clear sign from your Rabb, so send the children of Israel with me. The Pharaoh said, if you have come with a miracle, then bring it forth, if you are true to your word. Upon this Moses released his staff, and suddenly the staff appeared as a serpent. And Moses drew out his hand, and suddenly his hand appeared as a bright white light. The eminent ones, priests, among the people of Pharaoh said, indeed this is a learned magician. He wants to expel you from your land. Status. The Pharaoh asked, what do you advise? They said, restrain him and his brother. Send heralds to the cities. Let them bring to you every learned magician. And the magicians came to Pharaoh, and they said, if we prevail, there will indeed be a prize for us. Will there not? The Pharaoh said, yes, indeed, you're going to be of the close ones to me. The magician said, O Moses, first you throw, and then we will throw. Moses said, you throw. When they, the magicians, threw, they bewitched the eyes of the people and struck terror into them. They performed a great magic. And by magic, they mean, they were trickery, they were playing with the jinn. It's a little darker than our word for prestidigitosis, right? And we inspired to Moses, throw your staff. And alas, it devoured their make-believe falsehood. Thus, the truth was established, and what they were doing was abolished. They were overcome. They were debased. The magicians fell down as though in prostration. They said, "We have believed in the Rub of the worlds, the Rub of Moses and Aaron." Pharaoh said, "Have you believed in him without any permission? Surely this is a plot which you devised and conspired to drive the people out of the city. But you will soon see the punishment. I will indeed cut your hands and feet on alternate sides, and then crucify you all." The magicians who had believed said, "Indeed, we will return to our Rub. You are avenging us because we believed in the existence of our Rub, in his miracles, manifestations of his name. Our Rub, give us the strength to persevere and let us die as those who have submitted to you." The leaders among the people of Pharaoh said, "Will you leave Moses and his people so they cause corruption on the earth and abandon you and your gods?" Pharaoh said, "We will kill their sons and keep their women alive, a devastating power we have over them." Moses said to his people, "Seek help from Allah, the continual manifestation of the names of Allah, from your existence due to his uluhiyah, from the forces of the names comprising your being, and have patience. Indeed, the earth belongs to Allah. He renders inheritors whom he wills among his servants. The future is for the protected ones." The people of Moses said, "We have been tortured before you came to us, and after you have come to us." Moses said, "Perhaps your Rub will destroy your enemy and appoint you vicegerents on earth in their stead, and see how you will do. We have certainly seized the people of Pharaoh with years of famine and deficiency in produce, that perhaps they would reflect on its reason. But when a good came to them, they said, 'This is our earning.' And when a bad came to them, they saw it as an ill omen of Moses and those with him. Be careful. What they take as an ill omen is with Allah alone, but most of them cannot comprehend this." And they said, "No matter what miracle you bring to bewitch us, we will not believe in you." So we sent upon them floods, locusts, lice, frogs, and blood, as indicative signs. Yet they were arrogant and became a guilty community. When suffering befell them, and they said, "O Moses, keep your word and pray to your Rub. If you remove this suffering from us, we will surely believe in you, and we will send the children of Israel with you. But when we remove the suffering from them until the specified term we have given them comes to an end, they will break their word at once. Hence, we have vehemently made them live the consequences of their deeds, and we drowned them in the sea for denying our miracles and signs, and for being heedless of them. The people who had been scorned and oppressed, we made them the inheritors of the land, which we blessed with abundance. In the east and the west, the good word of your Rub was fulfilled for the children of Israel because of their patience, and we destroyed the things Pharaoh and his people were producing and what they were building. We took the children of Israel across the sea. They came upon a community of people who were worshiping their idols. They said, "O Moses, make a god for us, just like the gods they have." Moses said, "Indeed, you are so ignorant. Surely their faith and application will bring about destruction. What they are engaging is in worthless, vain. When he has chosen you by informing you of the reality of vicegerency over the worlds, mankind, shall I assume a god for you besides Allah? And remember, we had saved you from the dynasty of the Pharaoh. Remember how they were afflicting you with the worst torment? They were killing your sons and keeping your women alive, and in that there was a great trial for you from your Rub. We pledged 30 nights to Moses, then we added 10 to it. Thus the time appointed by his Rub was completed, the 40 nights. Moses said to his brother Aaron, "Take my place among my people, reform and do not follow those who want to incite provocation. That was interesting. We reached the 40-night mention. We have 40 minutes. When the period we appointed was complete, and his Rub called out to him, Moses said to his Rub, My Rub, show me yourself. Let me look at you. His Rub said, Never can you, with your illusory self, see, comprehend me, absolute reality, absolute I. So illusory self, ego. Okay, but it's not the same. So the false egos, as we'd say they would say in the West, me, the absolute reality, absolute I. But look at the mountain, ego. If the mountain remains in place after I reflect myself, then you shall see me. When his Rub reflected on the mountain, ego, he destroyed it, and Moses fell unconscious, freed from the self, I-ness, ego. When he woke up, he said, Subhan, you are, beyond. I exalt you. I have repented to you. I am the first of the believers. He said, O Moses, indeed I have chosen you over the people with my messages and my words. So take what I have given you and be among the grateful, those who benefit. We wrote in detail for Moses on the tablets about the things from which they should refrain and the things they require for life. Hold these firmly and order your people to properly apply and preserve them. I will show you the home of those who are disobedient to these commands. I will hold away from my miraculous forces those who are arrogant on the earth without right. For whatever miracle they see, they will not believe. If they see the way of consciousness, they will not adopt it as a way. If they see the way of corruption, they will adopt it as a way. This is because they have denied our signs of the reality and were heedless of them. Those who have denied our signs of the reality and the meaning of the eternal life to come, their deeds have become vain. Are they not living solely the results of what they used to do? And the people of Moses made after him, after his departure to Mount Sinai, a bellowing calf from their valuable ornaments. Did they not realize that the calf was neither able to talk to them nor guide them to a path? They took it as a deity and became of the wrongdoers. They wronged themselves when they thought about what they were doing and realized they had gone astray from the reality. They felt regret and said, If our Rub does not bestow his grace upon us and forgive us, surely we will be among the losers. When Moses came back to his people, angry and grieved, he said, What wretched things you did behind my back. Could you not have waited for the command of your Rub? Then he put down the tablets and held his brother by his head and pulled him toward himself. Aaron said, O son of my mother, indeed the people reckoned me weak and powerless and were nearly going to kill me. So do not let the enemy rejoice and not hold me equal with these wrongdoers. Moses said, My Rub, forgive me and my brother, and include us into your grace. You are the most Rahim of the Rahim, the one who manifests the infinite qualities of your names with your grace. Indeed, those who took the calf as God will receive the wrath of the Rub and debasement in the worldly life, thus we recompense the slanderers. So were they worshipping Hathor or Baal? Actually, technically, you could say the same. It's the same because if they worship Baal as another deity, Hathor, But there are some who became regretful after their misdeeds and repented, and they believed indeed your Rub thereafter is the Ghafur, the Rahim, the Facer, the Merciful. When Moses' anger subsided, he took the tablets. In that inscribed text there is guidance, comprehension of the reality, and grace from the Rub for those who fear. Moses chose 70 men among his people to go to the appointed place to repent. When a severe earthquake seized them, Moses said, My Rub, had you willed, you could have destroyed both them and I for covering the reality before. Will you destroy us now for the actions of the foolish, limited in intellect among us? This is only your provocation, trial, with which you lead astray whom you will and guide whom you will. You are our Wali, guardian. Forgive us and bestow your grace upon us. You are the best of forgivers. Now, if you want to be literal, it doesn't say that God leads people astray. It says God's not guiding people. But the verb form shows that people aren't taking in the guidance. But then again, God only provides so much guidance, and if people aren't listening, how are they going to see to some of it? How are they going to see the other, right? And decree good things for us, both in this world and the eternal life to come. Indeed, we have turned to you. He said, I afflict whom I will with my wrath. My grace encompasses all things. I will decree it for those who protect themselves, who give alms, and who believe in the reality in our signs. Those who follow the Rasul, messenger, the Ummi, unlettered Nabi, whose natural disposition has not been corrupted and original purity is preserved, while the awakening the inner fruit news bringer, who has been stated in the Torah and the Gospel in their hands. Well, I mean, what remains of the actual scriptures. He orders what is favorable, positive, according to a law, and forbids what is unfavorable, negative. He makes the clean things lawful and prohibits the filthy and ugly things. He relieves them of the heavy burdens on their backs and unshackles them from their chains, the ties preventing them from turning to Allah. Those who believe in Him, respect, support Him, help Him, and follow the Nur Quran that has been revealed to Him. They are the ones who will attain liberation. Say, O people, I am indeed a Rasul, messenger of Allah, who has come to you all, to who, he, but gender neutral, belongs the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth. There is no God, deity, only who. He gives life and causes death, so believe in Allah whose names comprise the essence of your being, and his Rasul, the Ummi, unlettered, Nabi, exemplar prophet. So some were messengers, some were exemplar prophets, some were both. Muhammad was both. Who believes in Allah, the essence of his self, and what he disclosed. Follow him so that you may be led to the reality. There is a group among the people of Moses who informs the reality based on the truth, and as the requirement of living the reality performs all things duly and justly. We have divided them into 12 communities, and we inspired Moses when his people asked for water from him. Strike the stone with your staff by integrating the staff with the forces within your essence, and there gushed forth 12 springs. Every group of people knew their way, their drinking place, and we shaded them with clouds and disclosed for them manna, power, and quails. We said, eat from the clean and pure things with which we have provided you. They did not do wrong to us, but they wronged their own selves, and mentioned when it was said to them, dwell in the city and eat from it, wherever you will, say forgive us and enter through its gate by experiencing the meaning of prostration, so that we may forgive your mistakes. We will increase it even more for the doers of good. Those among them who did wrong indeed changed the words to a statement other than that which was said to them. This is why we sent down suffering from the sky as the consequence of their wrongdoing. Ask them about the town by the sea, how they had transgressed on the Sabbath by going fishing on a Saturday. The Sabbath is sunset Friday to sunset Saturday, because the fish increased in number and revealed themselves on the Sabbath, but disappeared on other days. We tried them like this because they were given to transgression. And when a community among them said, "Why do you give advice to people who Allah will destroy or punish with a severe suffering?" They said, "To be absolved from our responsibility in the sight of our Rabb, and so that perhaps they may protect themselves." When they forgot the advice given to them, we saved those who tried to prevent wrongdoing, and seized the wrongdoers with a wretched suffering because of the mistaken deeds they were doing. And when they became arrogant and transgressed that which was forbidden, we said to them, "Become despised apes, creatures who live in imitation of one another, who cannot use their intellect." And your Rabb has declared, He will certainly manifest those who will inflict themselves with the worst torment until doomsday. Indeed, your Rabb is Saril Iqab, instantly forms the consequences of misdeeds. Indeed, He is the Ghafur, the Rahim, the Effacer, the Merciful. We have divided them into factions on the earth. There are some among them who are righteous, those who live according to the requirements of having faith in the reality, and there are some among them who are of an inferior level. We have tried them with good and bad, that perhaps they will turn to the reality. And following them were new generations who inherited the knowledge of the reality. They were living to attain the wealth of this base worldly life, and were claiming, "We will be forgiven anyhow." If they were offered an equal amount of worldly goods, they would have taken that too, was a covenant not taken from them, that they would not say things about a law not based on the truth. Did they not take a lesson from it and study what is in it? The eternal life to come is better for the protected ones. Will you not use your reason? As for those who adhere to the knowledge of the reality book and perform salat, prayer, experience their essence, indeed, we will not leave those who are reformed and those who reform without a reward. And when we had raised the mountain above them as if it was a canopy, and they thought it was going to fall upon them and destroy them, hold firmly what we have given you, reflect upon what is therein, and remember it, so that you may be protected. And mention when your Rabb took from the children of Adam, from their loins, semen, genes, ovum, their descendants, and made them testify to their own selves, asking them, "Am I not your Rabb?" And they said, "Yes, indeed, we bear witness." Of this we remind you, lest you say on the day of resurrection, "We were cocooned, unaware of this knowledge." Of this refers to the man being created upon the natural disposition of Islam. And Surah 7, 872 is a verse that I like to bring up if I can to give my answer about the pre-existence question I ask when I interview people. "And so that you don't say, 'Our fathers lived only as dualists, and we are their descendants,' the continuation of their genetic coding. So, will you destroy us because our fathers' denial of the truth?" i.e., this is an invalid excuse, as everyone is created upon the natural disposition of Islam, but their understanding of religion derives from the environmental conditionings they receive. Thus, we explain in detail the proofs, signs, that perhaps they will return to their essential reality. Give them the news of the man to whom we have given our signs, yet he detached himself from the knowledge and left it, forgot the reality, and pursued a life based on ego identity. Then Satan, accepting one's self as only the body, made him a follower of this belief until finally he became of the astray ones. Had we willed, we would have elevated him with these signs, but instead he settled on earth bodily life, and followed his baseless impulses. So his example is like that of a dog. If you chase him, he pants. If you leave him, he pants. This is what the people who deny our signs look like. Relate this to them. Perhaps they will contemplate upon it. How wretched is the state of people who deny our signs, manifestations of names, and hence do wrong to themselves. Whoever is enabled by law to observe his innermost essential self, he is the one who reaches the reality, and whoever Allah leads astray, indeed, they are the ones who are in loss. Indeed, we have created and increased in number the majority of the jinn, fire beings, and mankind for the life of hell. They have hearts, consciousness, with which they cannot understand the reality. They have eyes with which they cannot evaluate what they see. They have ears with which they cannot understand what they hear. They are like cattle, nay, they are even less conscious of the right way. It is they who are the truly heedless, living in their cocoons. And to Allah belongs the most beautiful names, the qualities denoted by those names reference the one and absolutely self-sufficient Allah. Hence, these names and their meanings belong to Him alone and cannot be defined by human concepts as noted in 2391. Exalted, Subhan is Allah beyond what they attribute to Him. So turn to Him through the meanings of His names and leave the company of those who practice deviation, fall into duality. Well, there's more than that people might do that's not right. Concerning His names, they will be recompensed for what they have been doing. And for example of that, we have people who tattoo divine names and verses and stuff on themselves or something. And among those we created, there is such a community. They guide to the reality by the truth, and they give everything its due right. We will progressively lead those who deny our signs pertaining to the reality to destruction from where they do not know through a scheme, and I will give them time to do what they want. Indeed, my fine plan is firm. Did they not give thought? There is no madness, mindlessness in their companion. He is only a clear warner. Did they not look into the angelic realms, forces of the heavens and the earth, to anything Allah has created, and that perhaps their appointed time, death, has neared? So, if they do not take heed of this, what statement will they believe in? Whoever Allah leads astray, there is no guide for him. He will leave them in their transgression, wandering blindly. They ask you, when will that hour arrive? Say, its knowledge is only with my Rabb, who, He, is the one who will reveal it when it is time. Concepts such as time, place, object, and person cannot be conceived in regards to that reflection. It weighs heavy on the heavens and the earth. It will come to you unexpectedly. They ask you as if you know it through experience. Say, its knowledge is with Allah alone, but the majority of the people do not know. Say, I cannot form any benefit or any harm for myself other than what Allah wills. If I had known the absolute unknown, surely I would have multiplied all good, and no harm would have touched me. I am merely a warner and a bringer of glad tidings for a people who believe. Who created you from one single soul, Inus, in the macro plan that is known as the reality of Muhammad, and the first intellect in the macro plan it is known as the human consciousness, and the grand intellect, and from it formed his partner at the macro plan, the universe at the micro plan, the brain, so that you dwell with her. And when he covered her, his partner, she loaded a light burden and carried it. When it got heavy, they both prayed to Allah, indeed, if you give us a righteous child, we will surely be among the evaluators. This verse can be understood both in terms of the formation of the worlds and the formation of humans. But when he gave them a righteous child, they associated partners with him concerning what he gave them. Exalted is Allah above what they associate with him. Are they associating those who do not create anything? when they themselves are created. There is a reference in these two verses to the tendency of mankind to conceive natural events and creatures as deities, gods besides Allah. Animism, dynamism, is that what they... Well, that what the commentator means. The deities they associate with Allah have neither power to help them nor themselves. Hence the La ilaha part of the Shahada. If you invite them to guidance, the realization of one's essential reality, they will not follow you. Whether you invite them or remain silent, it is all the same. Those to which you turn besides Allah are merely servants like yourselves. If you are persistent in your belief, call them and let them respond to you. Do they have feet with which they walk, hands with which they hold, eyes with which they see, or ears with which they hear? Say, call your partners that you associate with Allah and conspire against me and give me no respite. Indeed, my wali, guardian, is Allah, the one who has revealed the knowledge book of the reality. He befriends the doers of good. Those to whom you call upon for help besides him have neither the power to help you, nor can they help themselves. If you call them for guidance, they will not hear. You will think they are looking at you, but they will not see. Be forgiving, judge with positive and useful things, and turn away from the ignorant. If an impulse comes to you from Satan, if you are tempted towards bodily desires, and curtained from your reality, immediately seek refuge in Allah, the forces of the names comprising your essential reality, for He is Sami'a, the Alim, the all-knowing, the all-hearing. As for those who are protected, when an impulse touches them from Satan, those who confine their existence to their body alone, they think about and remember their essential reality. They evaluate with insight. But their devil's brothers drag them to emotionality and extremity, and they will not let them be. And the jahiliyyah, the emotional ignorance, it has nothing to do with some gender thing or whatever people said, but the emotionality, because you don't judge. You shouldn't judge merely because of your emotions or your feelings. Certainly, that's something that can, you have your senses and stuff for a reason, but, when you do not relate a verse to them, they say, you should have made one up. Say, I follow only what is revealed to me from my Rabb. This Quran is an insight from your Rabb, enabling you to realize and comprehend. It is a guide to the reality and grace for a people who believe. It elevates and matures them. Yeah, a lot of people have this idea that, the prophets, because they look at books that people composed and say, well, this is what prophets do. And it's like, it's not. And, I was listening to tape of recording of Paul Twitchell, and he was saying, oh, I haven't changed it yet. So I haven't changed it yet. It's not up to him to change it. When the Quran is recited, listen to it and be silent so that you may receive grace. Remember and contemplate in depth your Rabb in yourself by knowing your boundary, by feeling Him, and in a modest, confidential way, without raising your voice, in the morning and evening. Do not be of the heedless. And this last verse here is one of the 15 prostration passages that people put their nose and forehead on the ground, each hand, each knee, each foot facing Mecca. Indeed, those who are with your Rabb never show arrogance and refrain from servitude. They continue their existence through Him, tasbih, and prostrate to Him by feeling their nothingness in the sight of His might